Hello all. You know, there was once a time where video games were exclusively marketed to boys and...
Whoa, 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 whoa. Lois, this is not my Batman glass.
There was no question that playing video games was definitely a male space. Now I'm noticing something different. I can't necessarily call it a trend. It's been too long for that. Basically the state of video games that we're in.
Sexism in gaming. So maybe we be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
And then along came women who wished they were men. Chicks who acted and moved like they had dicks. And they wanted in.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
And instead of coming in, being welcoming, with nice gestures, ready to sincerely interact, we get this.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people. And maybe say it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe say we don't want you around if you're gonna be a cunt.
Yeah.
And hateful. And that the games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone's making them be diverse. Because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something may be okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
Men aren't going around trying to change the culture of female spaces, so please stop doing it to ours.
And whenever they start to work on games, because they're not focused on making good games, this is what you get. I wish I had the patience, the tolerance, and the time to go more in depth.
Things are so unfair. But did it ever occur to you that there's never been a female team at the top because statistically it doesn't make sense? How could that be? The BBC said earlier that 50% of gamers are women.
According to games analyst Newzoo, nearly half the world's gamers are now female.
This must mean that 50% of high-ranking players should be women. Except wait, it turns out that when you specify what kind of games people play, women don't like to play the same types of games. So when you say 50% of gamers are female, you're talking about things like Candy Crush and Farmville, not games like Call of Duty and Apex Legends. Traditionally, women like puzzle games, RPGs, and sim games like Animal Crossing. This has been known for decades, Back in the 1990s, one of the reasons that Nintendo sold the original Game Boy with Tetris is because moms loved that game. Women make most of the household purchases, and Tetris convinced them to buy a Game Boy. So let's look at some numbers on the stuff that BBC is talking about. Earlier they said Dota 2, right? What percentage of women play that game? 20%. What about another popular competitive game like Fortnite? 27%. Higher than Dota, but you can still see that there are way more male players than females, so it statistically makes sense for almost all of the top players to be male, especially when you're in an environment where it's winner take all.
But by now, over these past 10 years, you've seen and heard the divide. The horrible divide that these games create. Instead of authenticity and a genuine passion for what you create, you pretty much can't really create anything good, so you want to destroy and hate.
Honestly though, this is terrible marketing. There are certain things that men are naturally attracted to, and there are certain things that women are naturally attracted to. Good marketers figuring out what that stuff is, and then marketing natural desires to their respective audiences, is how companies make money.
Did you not take sloppy seconds of a pre-existing character for your diversity agenda? Oh, representation! You'll take the scraps of the white characters and then claim that you've made it. But we don't want to talk about that, clearly, right? We don't want to, no. That's anti-black of me to point out.
You're not actually creating a positive representation of black people by doing this. You're just pretending to do that, which is the literal definition of tokenism. And the stupid thing is that when it comes to Final Fantasy VII,
Gamers just want good story, good gameplay, good controller movement, possible customization, but most importantly, a good story. They want great graphics, heroic-looking characters, man or woman, and an immersive world to interact with. And I'm not saying there's no place for women in video games.
Just, I don't know, in my opinion, I think that, I don't know, there's something a little bit childlike about it, a grown man to be playing games, and it is a huge, huge turn off for me.
Even the female Valorant team that the BBC chose for this news special said that there aren't many female competitive players.
So you're saying that you wouldn't want there to be a division where women can't play against men?
Oh, that'd be horrible. I wouldn't play the game if that was the case, personally.
Tell me why. Can you explain that?
At the current scene right now, I think all of us individually would be like, it wouldn't be fun. Like, we wouldn't have any competition, or if we just only had to play against other women's teams.
Just as to how many times they made the misogyny argument for why female players don't do as well competitively, instead of talking about something more reasonable like total number of female players or time invested building the skill. Here's another one.
People are especially sexist in-game towards women and make very rude comments, and I think that it's easier for us because we know we're successful and we know we have accomplishments, but like women every day just get like literally harassed in game, and it's really difficult to play in that environment.
Just on the day-to-day, like if you're a girl, you don't get the luxury of just having a bad game. It's like because you're a girl.
People are rude in video games. Women most affected. Allow me to poll the audience. Raise your hand right now if you've ever played an online game where someone said something mean to you. Everybody raised their hand, right? This is not exclusive to women. Here's data from Pew Research about online harassment from 2014. Most of the categories are even. Look, it says here that men are 7% more likely to be harassed online than women are when you look at all types of harassment. Yeah, this stuff is not great on both sides, but don't sit there and make shows pretending that women are the only ones who have to deal with assholes. This is not the only news report promoting this false narrative. Here is Vice basically saying the same thing. This next clip features Madison Mann, a Fortnite player.
I think I knew the harassment I would face because I've always experienced it being just a girl online. Like, I've heard everything since I was 9 years old. It's definitely gotten more personal because it's like my everyday job, and I have to hear harassment from other pros, and it's pretty annoying, but at the same time, I'm like, someone has to take the bullet in order for things to change.
Oh, you're so brave. You're the only person who's fighting for freedom. One thing they didn't highlight is how many women don't actually care about this kind of commentary.
And I'm not saying there's no place for women in video games. Me personally, when given a choice, I've never played as a male character.
You know, I made a tweet not long ago saying, hey, you know, as women, maybe we should stop being victims here and stop calling everyone a misogynist because they make a get in the kitchen joke on Xbox Live. It ain't that deep. It's a joke. Just toss it right back at them.
But this will always be a male-dominated space. Like it or not, reality is reality. You can hope and wish for reality to be different, but hope is not a strategy. But giving customers what they want is a solid strategy.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace!
Vice and the BBC don't actually want to stop toxic players. They are clearly using this to divide and conquer the sexes in the gaming industry as some sort of power play, while trying to get extra privileges for female gamers that they didn't earn. It's the same strategy the media uses everywhere else.
A lot of the people in the community thinks that you're stealing a spot, or that money should go somewhere else, or that you're not good enough to be sponsored.
Yes, and why would the competitive male players accuse them of taking someone else's spot? This is why I don't like these stupid news clips. They remove all context and don't give the other side any fair interpretations or a chance to defend their standpoint. Could it be that just maybe there's a reason the male players would say this? Oddly enough, in the very news report that Vice is saying that female gamers got these positions based on their merit, they are actually arguing for affirmative action.
Because there's no existing support there, a lot of female gamers don't want to go pro. Denji has been making strong efforts towards building a program of female gamers. Develop them, find coaches, coach up these female talent, scout them out, and then really just make it worth their while to be the nail that sticks out.
Why does it need to be a program of female gamers? Why can't it just be a program of the best players? Here's an honest question to women. Are you not insulted by this? Are you not insulted by mainstream news corporations constantly talking down to you like you're a child? Because if I had a news corporation like Vice tell me that I couldn't succeed unless someone held my hand through the entire process like that guy just suggested, I would be very offended.
So you feminist frequency people out there who have engaged in your own harassment against me, who have gotten me blacklisted in this industry, who have basically made people afraid to support me because it crosses your ire, and they don't want that. They don't want the trouble of treating me like a human being because you have sent up the flares in this damn industry that anybody opposes you is subhuman and bad for women. You actually cause people to be shunned in this industry. People deny me interviews and don't want me covering their product because I am anti-feminist frequency. Not because people who think you're right, but because they're afraid. Okay, everybody is afraid of getting spanked by the feminist frequency paddle because that is a rallying cry to the Twitter mobs.
You know, I made a tweet not long ago saying, hey, you know, as women, maybe we should stop being victims here and stop calling everyone a misogynist because they make a get in the kitchen joke on Xbox Live. It ain't that deep. It's a joke. Just toss it right back at them.
And if you don't like it, peace.